Senators who brokered a new deal on immigration reform are calling it the best chance possible to bring millions of illegal residents in this country out of the shadows. Just moments ago, President Bush warmly welcomed the agreement, calling it, and I'm quoting now, an important first step. But getting it to his desk may be a difficult challenge. The measure would grant quick legal status to millions of illegal immigrants already in the United States, along with fortifying the borders. So critics of the so-called path to citizenship insist it's actually amnesty. Our White House correspondent Ed Henry is standing by, but let's go to our congressional correspondent, Andrea Coppola. She's on Capitol Hill. What exactly, Andrea, is in the deal?
Well, Wolf, they're hoping that it has a little bit of something for everyone. The deal reached today came after weeks of intensely emotional negotiations behind the scenes on one of the most politically divisive issues in the country.
Politics is the art of the possible, and the agreement we just reached is the best possible chance we will have in years to secure our borders, bring millions of people out of the shadows and into the sunshine of America.
Under the terms of the compromise reached, the plan would give an estimated 12 million illegal immigrants a chance to become citizens. But only those who arrived in the U.S. before January of this year could apply for a special visa. They'll also have to pay a fine of $5,000, and heads of households will have to return to their home country within 8 years to apply for a green card. Another key issue, how to handle guest workers whose cheap labor is considered essential in the agriculture and service industries. Under the plan, before an estimated 400,000 new workers would be allowed in each year, enforcement would have to be in place, including training an additional 18,000 Border Patrol agents and building 370 miles of fencing along the U.S.-Mexico border. Even though negotiations brought together the most liberal and the most conservative members of the Senate, some of whom voted against last year's immigration bill, both sides acknowledge this deal is a fragile one, which opponents of compromise will try to tear apart.
Please, 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 don't let the good be, or the perfect be the enemy of the good.
Already in the House, Republicans strongly opposed to offering illegal immigrants a path to citizenship, what they call amnesty, said they'd vote against it.
I think the fact that they have to keep saying this is not amnesty, shows they really do know it is.
Now, the first real test of this bill is going to happen next week. In fact, on Monday, Wolf, that is when the Senate is supposed to begin debate on it. And over in the House, Speaker Pelosi said that she wants to have a bill through there before August.
And it looks like, given the conservatives and the liberals who are on board with the White House on board, looks like they're going to get the votes in the Senate they need to pass it. Am I right?
You know, I have to say, I didn't hear anyone say that they had a filibuster-proof majority on this, but I think that they are confident. But we won't know for sure, Wolf, really, until next week after we've seen Republicans and Democrats have an opportunity to review the bill in its detail.
Andrea, thank you very much. Let's go to the White House right now. The president applauded the Senate immigration deal just moments ago. Our White House correspondent Ed Henry is standing by. This is comprehensive legislation that the president desperately wants it.
That's right. The president spoke on the South Lawn, as you noted. He made it clear he will sign this into law if it reaches his desk. It would be a desperately needed legislative victory for this president. As you know, not just on immigration, but much of his policy agenda is stalled on Capitol Hill right now. And with so much bad news coming in from Iraq, he is eager to trumpet this. That's why he came out to the South Lawn. He sees this as a potential victory, but at what political cost? That's the question. You heard in Andrea's piece about amnesty. This president knows he's going to hear that from the right, and that's why when he spoke, he tried to strike a political balance.
The agreement reached today is one that'll help enforce our borders, but equally importantly, it'll treat people with respect. This is a bill where people who live here in our country will be treated without amnesty, but without animosity.
Now, the White House says they can back up the claim that it's not amnesty by pointing out that there are stiff penalties for illegal immigrants already here, paying a fine of $5,000, having to pass a background check, also the English language requirement. The White House trying to claim this is much different than the 1986 law that Ronald Reagan signed that basically granted pardons, granted full amnesty to those illegal immigrants. Wolf.
The political upside would be significant for the president during these remaining year and a half or so of his administration.
That's right, and it could actually have a bigger political impact on the broader Republican Party. That's what the president is hoping as an upside. It's what Karl Rove has been talking about for years, trying to get more Latino voters to the Republican Party. When you look at the CNN exit polls from 2006, 69% of Latino voters voted Democrat. 30% of Latino voters voted Republican. A lot of Republican strategists think that's because the party looked too strident on the immigration issue, and that they're hoping that a deal like this might look strong on border security, but still look more compassionate and reach out to more Latino voters, Wolf.